going to be talking about the pros and cons of buying or renting. So, and we're going to be keeping it real estate.
Okay, all right. So, we make videos all the time where we're talking about the benefits of buying over renting. At the bottom line is this. Buying a home isn't for everyone. So we're not talking from an angle or from a standpoint that everyone that we know should buy a home. Well, kind of I am, but for the most part, we know realistically, home ownership is not going to be a reality for everyone.
That's true. It's like not everyone desires to own a home. Some people are so comfortable with renting because they have certain fears or certain concerns about maintenance on a property, and they're concerned about will they be able to keep up with those maintenance on their property if they're buying a home. But again, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of buying or renting.
All right. So one of the more obvious reasons that you should buy a home instead of renting is that it's simple math. I mean, for most of us, we live on a budget. So we only have a certain amount of money that we can spend toward food, clothing, and shelter every month. So when you rent, you're really leaving the housing part or the shelter part up for someone else to decide how much you're going to pay. When you rent, you're basically stuck with paying whatever the landlord says is his fee. Now, there are a lot of people who rent, so I'm going to use a figure that maybe some people may be paying per month to help you understand just how much money is being thrown out every month by paying rent. For instance, just say by today's standards, you're paying $2,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, that's a lot to pay in rent. But I know that because of inflation and the way things are right now, it's pretty expensive out there if you're renting. So we'll just say $2,000 a month is what you're paying. Now, if you have a landlord who's making a mortgage payment on the home that you're renting, he may be paying somewhere about $1,200 or $1,500 a month on an average. Or he may not be paying anything if he owns the property outright. But we'll just use this as a hypothetical that he's paying $1,200 to $1,500 a month as a mortgage payment each month. So that means if he's charging you $2,000 a month, you're paying him an extra $500 to $800 a month extra just to live in that home. So it's not wrong actually that he's charging this. I mean, that's what landlords do. That's how they make their money. But if you think of it in terms of the math, I think that you would have a better use for $500 to $800 a month than to be giving it to your landlord as extra money. Wouldn't you rather be saving that money and because you actually own your home and not be paying that extra that you're paying right now by giving that to your landlord?
And the simplest way to think about it is it's a basic need. Our dwelling, our food, our clothing, it's a basic need. So since it's a basic need, why not make it an investment? Meaning that when you take and use that dwelling as an investment, you can see down the road where your money really goes, because you're always going to need to have a place to stay, and you want to have a comfortable place to stay. And the money that you're putting into that dwelling or that property, you know that down the road it will benefit you, because now just say you decide to walk out, you're not paying rent anymore, you're walking out with just what you have. All the money you spent paying rent, you helped the landlord with his investment. So being that it's a basic need, you need shelter, why not make it work for you?
Yeah, look at it like this. You could be paying rent for a home for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. I've even known people who paid rent to live in a home for 10 years. And I'm using the home as an example more than the apartment, because usually when people live in apartments, it's more temporary. But there are people out there who actually pay rent in a home or for a home. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking mainly to people that are in that category. Think about it now. Just say this, you decide after 5 years or after 10 years of renting that home that you want to move on. What happens to all the money that you spent for rent? Well, it stays with the landlord. You get nothing in the deal when you walk away or when you decide to move on. But look at it like this. If you buy a home and just stay in that home for 1 year, you can probably sell that home and make thousands of dollars as a profit when you decide to sell, just after 1 year. So just think about it. With a rental property, you'll never be able to sell it. You'll never be able to recoup anything that you put in it. But with buying your own home, with purchasing your own home, you have so much more potential to be able to recoup those funds. And when you walk away or you decide to move on, you don't walk away empty-handed. You actually stand to gain from the investment of purchasing a home.
But we'll be right back. We're keeping it real estate.